Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 30 platforms. Mike Wagner Show. Device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful, multi-talented singer, songwriter, guitarist out of Nashville. She's originally from the Knoxville area, so we'll just call her a Tennessee gal. She's got some previous releases, Watered Down Whiskey, Finally Found, and she's got a recent release called West of Me. She'll be playing some of the music for you as well, too, and she's got a brand new up-and-coming sound, a lot of great connections, and definitely on the up and up as well. So live, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful Nashville to Music City, ladies and gentlemen, the very up-and-coming Sarah Harralson. Sarah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you as well, too. So you're a singer, songwriter, musician. Basically, you're very multi-talented. You are originally from Knoxville. Now you're in Nashville as well, too. You went to school. You've got 3 albums out called Finally Found, Watered Down Whiskey, and West of Me. You also got some upcoming work as well, too. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started career-wise.
So like you said, I grew up in East Tennessee most of my life, and I grew up falling in love with music. I think I started writing songs when I was 10 and took piano lessons when I was 14, and then taught myself guitar. And most of the inspiration came from my grandfather. I have a picture of him behind me with his accordion, and he was always inspiring me to pursue music. And that's when I decided, after I graduated high school, to attend Belmont to pursue music and also songwriting.
Mm-hmm. What was that one precisely into writing music? What was that aha moment that says, hey, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing for the rest of my life?
I think that aha moment didn't come to me until after I moved to Nashville, because I think I liked what I was writing, but when I started co-writing and collaborating with other people in Nashville and started to actually build my craft, I think it came a few years down the line of being in Nashville when I was actually writing better songs and more country songs. And I thought, wow, I might actually have a shot of doing this professionally.
And who are some of your singers and musicians growing up?
So I've always loved the Dixie Chicks as far as artists, and I feel like I incorporate a lot of their sounds into my own music. I love Alanis Morissette, and as far as songwriters, Brandy Clark, and as well as Johnny Cash too, for old school.
Mm-hmm. And how would you describe music style?
My music is definitely country. It has some influences of pop and soul and even Americana in some of my songs.
And that's amazing as well, too. We'll talk about some of your albums in just a minute, but first listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Tennessee native Sarah Harralson, singer, songwriter, musician, the multi-talented Tennessean here on the Mike Wagner Show. And she's got some EPs out, starting off with Finally Found, that came out in 2014, followed by Watered Down Whiskey in 2018, and a follow-up, West of Me, which came out last year. And first of all, tell us about the EP Finally Found.
Yeah, so that was the first EP and release I ever did as an artist. And that was about the start of my career at Belmont. So I was new to Nashville, kind of new to collaborating with other people in the studio. I would classify that EP more of a singer-songwriter, Americana kind of genre. And basically that was just kind of the beginning of my songwriting, and you can tell in some of the songs, but it was definitely special in the sense that it was my first release and it was just a beginning for me.
And maybe you can go ahead your songs as well.
What was that?
Okay, maybe you can play one of your songs from Finally Found for us.
Yeah, I don't really remember any songs from that EP because it was, I haven't played it in such a long time, but from the other releases I definitely can.
Okay, that's okay. And we also got Watered Down Whiskey as well too in 2018, which is 4 years following up, and tell us all about that one.
Yeah, so that was a few years later down the road when I was writing more country style songs. I was collaborating with people, so whereas the songs on Finally Found, they were written just by me, but on Watered Down Whiskey, I had, co-writers on that EP. I was working with someone who was a little bit more advanced in the studio. So that was it felt like more of a professional release to me when I released that EP.
And so remember playing one of the songs for that. Maybe you can play one of them for us off of Watered Down Whiskey.
Yeah, I definitely can if you would like to hear one right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead. Watered Down Whiskey from Sarah Harralson on the Mike Wagner Show. So we're doing acoustic, and yes, it's quarantine safe, folks. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna play one that has a few more streams from the Watered Down Whiskey EP on Spotify, and it's called County Time.
County Time. was it? It was County Time, Wagner Show. So tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably one of my favorite songs off the Watered Down Whiskey EP that I did. And that song is more about, just being in a small town and that small town life. And, everyone's kind of talking about each other. And sometimes you feel like you can't get out of it. And a lot of us can relate to that situation.
And many of us can relate as well, too, especially during the pandemic. And were they talking about you actually over watered down whiskey, or do they like the real stuff? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like the real stuff, but yeah, County Time can definitely be viewed as, during this time too, where you feel like, you can't get out and, in a lockdown.
And also, we'll talk about your latest release, West of Me, in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, over 35 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with singer, songwriter, musician Sarah Harralson, originally from Knoxville, now in Nashville, here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about some of her releases finally found. Then we heard a little bit of Watered Down Whiskey. Also, you got a new release coming out, or should we say recent from last year, West of Me. And tell us more about this EP.
Yeah, so it's been almost a year ago that I released that album, and West of Me was a self-produced collaborative album with Christine Bauer. Christine is native to Omaha, Nebraska, and I met her a few years ago, and she is an artist as well and songwriter, and we started collaborating and have written many, many songs, and we had all these songs a little before last year and decided we wanted to do something with at least 10 of them. And so we decided to produce a collaborative album with these songs. And so me and my buddy spent a few months producing the whole album, and Christine and I released it last May. And I flew to Nebraska where she lives, and we did some shows in that area. We did a show in Omaha, a couple in South Dakota, and one in Montana. And I had never been to that area before with, the Dakotas and Montana. So it was beautiful and such a wonderful time to be up there.
And don't forget, you come up to visit. Like,
I'm sorry, what was that? You cut out.
I said, don't forget to come to North Dakota to play too, to add that to your bucket list.
Yeah, I must do that.
And of course, you had some of the songs from West of Me as well too. And what are some of the songs that got the most streams on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all the other streaming services?
Yeah, so right now, Love on Lease, I think it hit over 5,000 streams. So I think that one has the most streams off the album right now. And then I think if you want to listen to one that puts you in a good mood during these times, Love Tonight, that's a good one too.
Okay, that's a really good one too. And would you like to play one or both of those for us?
Sure. I'm going to play Love on Lease, which you can probably find at the top of my Spotify page right now. I wanted it. But time won't time short. It's not what I thought it would be. I should have got darling, you didn't want to see where this goes. Yeah, it won't hurt. I wanted more than that 6-month contract, but I still said it, hoping this would last. There was never a guarantee I would get what I wanted this to be. I just paid more for what I didn't need, so I'll return what I can keep. 'Cause your love is only back in a minute. I don't want it. Back in a minute. I don't want it. Back in a minute. I don't want it back. Oh no. There was never a guarantee I would get what I wanted this to be. I just paid more for what I didn't need, so I'll return what I can keep. 'Cause your love is only, yeah, your love is only, oh, your love.
Love Unleashed on the Mike Wagner. Tell us more about what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, so that song's kind of, what it says. You're just kind of in this relationship that's not really going anywhere, and you want it to be more long term, but maybe the other person doesn't, and you're just kind of saying to them, well, I'm in it for the long run, and I think the bridge is kind of has a powerful statement towards that when it says, if I can't own it, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good lesson for learn as well, too. And a few more things with Sarah Harralson here on the Mike Wagner Show. And what are your plans for 2020? What can we expect from you?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that half of it's pretty much already over, but I definitely have more new music in the works. I'm going to announce my new single soon. So for the rest of 2020, you can just expect more new music from me, some great content, and hopefully at least in the fall or soon in the future, I'll be playing actual live shows again.
And we're looking forward to it as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Probably my grandfather, since he inspired me to pursue music.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
It's just, it can be a struggle no matter what you're aiming for, but as long as you keep persistent and keep learning and growing every day, you can get to where you want to be.
That sounds fantastic. Once again, Sarah Harralson, singer, songwriter, musician in Nashville on the Mike Wagner Show. Big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to hearing you again soon. And one more thing, just tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Yeah, so my website is just sarahharralson.com. You can find my music on any platform, Spotify and all, and then I have merch on my website, and I'm on all social media, so you can find my announcements there.
That's fantastic. Once again, Sarah, big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you to have back on 2020 and beyond. You've been great, and keep us up to date.
Thank you for having me.